We wanted to make it very much like a hospital, and I think it is.
CWC is very fortunate.
They didn't design a building that they could design. They designed a building that we really wanted, that we dreamed about.
Activate the response team.
Having a human cadaver will really help them learn the science of the body. They're so cool.
Just the space and the light and the room to move about and do so many things.
So we cut the 3 branches off of the aortic arch. Cadavers are human bodies. The family has decided to donate the bodies. I get them from the University of Utah, has a body donor program. So I have 2 cadavers, one male and one female. We can keep them for up to 2 years. My plan is to rotate one every year, so we have a new cadaver every year. If you want to put gloves on so that you can feel the brain, then I would encourage you to do that. CWC is very fortunate to have a cadaver anatomy program. Casper College is the only other community college in the state of Wyoming to have a cadaver program. The University of Wyoming uses cadavers for their WWAMI program, which is their medical school. Casper College, the freshman and sophomore level students don't use the cadavers. They have to take a gross anatomy class after taking their human anatomy class. So our students are very lucky in that aspect. My favorite part about the new building is having the dedicated lab space. In main hall, anatomy and biology shared the same lab space. Physiology and microbiology shared the same lab space. So we would have to tear down one lab to set up for the next lab and schedule creatively. This way I can leave a lab set up the entire week so my students can come in and study.
We
getting it?
and then we confuse ourselves.
Yeah. So the sim lab upstairs is state of the art and will prepare them better than even their clinical settings, as I understand it, to enter their careers as nurses.
And I don't want to brag or anything,
But
this is
she's
pretty
gonna.
much like the real deal. Just saying. This simulation lab is my most favorite part. What do you think the principles are that I should do? First of all, it's hooked up and it's hooked to suction. Does she have any pain? Does she have any abdominal distension? We wanted to make it very much like a hospital, and I think it is. It has separate rooms. We can do separate things. We can design multiple patient experiences or single patient experiences. It has the ability to design pediatric, obstetric, intensive care, med-surg, emergency room. The other thing that we were excited about doing is that even though it seems like a hospital when you walk in here, we could make it be a nursing home. We could make it be on the street or in a home if we wanted to and simulate that situation. Because we wanted to not only educate students here at the Health and Science Building, but because this building was brought to us through taxpayer dollars, we want to make sure that we'll do teaching in this lab that helps hospital employees, that helps EMTs, that helps firemen, that helps law enforcement, and the community at large. So we want to be able to provide training in here for everybody. More than that. And I can look at the attempts versus the injections. If we go into the history right now, you can see that I just did this attempt, but no injection was given because we have... Well, I think that there's a lot of ability for interactive learning here. The computer labs, the classrooms. In our classrooms, for instance, the way they're set up, we can change the configuration of the room so that we can have team-based learning and have the students in groups and work group upon group to do collective learning. Or we can have traditional learning where they're lectured. Because we have the ICN, we're teaching with Jackson, and so we have a nice way to communicate between Riverton and Jackson. Also, this room has a lot of it's just a nice atmosphere with natural light, a quiet atmosphere, and a lot of comfortable study areas. And we have found that the students are already taking, not only nursing students, but all of the science students are taking advantage of the nice spaces where they can study and work together. There are small classrooms that we have associated with every lab, and I have seen right away that groups of students form study groups And they kind of have scheduled themselves to meet in those rooms to prepare for their exams. And I think that's really nice because that's more easily done here than it would be, for instance, in the library or going to someone's home. They can be here, formally take care of that, be very comfortable, and then be finished and go home.
Can you, Allie, start chest compressions? Okay. Sue, start CPR after we get this. Amy, can you get the AED ready?
Come on, Allie, we got it rolling.
Okay. That's okay. Okay. Come back. Yeah, I did. You don't have one.
The AED's
Starting
tight
chest
now.
compressions.
Go. You hold it. I'll get this.
I always felt like the clinical experiences that the students have now when they go to the hospital or go to a nursing home or somewhere are very random. We can't predict what they will come in contact with because the human experience is very random. We don't know that. But if we want to make sure that they're exposed to specific diagnoses, specific skills, specific things that they might do, and guarantee that that happens, we can manipulate that situation here. So whether or not they, by happenstance, run into it at the hospital, we'll guarantee that they'll take care of it here so that no matter where they go to work, they'll have some background in not only usual client experiences, but maybe some of the ones that are a little more unusual or unexpected. We'll be able to have given them some background in that as well.
We've had a lot of tour groups come through, and they are so excited.
I think by the opportunity that they see the building and see what can be done right here locally, our local students that tour here, they may want to stay home.
I think we will attract more students.
We're beginning to feel like we will be very competitive with the other community colleges in the state and perhaps even out of the state that would rather come here because we have this lovely facility, which will only make our nursing program better because we have so many different viewpoints from so many different types of people. And we really believe that that's going to happen. It's kind of, if we build it, they will come. We've been thinking about that for a long time.